Someone came up to me the other day and they asked me, how do you keep going? And me being who I am, I gave them a short and sweet answer and I said, stay locked in. That question followed me for a few days. And it was just lingering around and I kept thinking about it. Not only the answer I gave, but the question itself. And I thought two things. Is that really a good answer to give someone? And two, is that your reason why? And it kept following me and it kept following me. And I kept wondering, did I give him a good answer? And is that your reason why? A couple days later, I thought to myself, first and foremost, none of this is possible without God. For me. Even when it felt like you did it all alone, it was already meant for you because God already shaped it for you. So I want to give honor to God for allowing me, the people around me, my peers, and giving us the strength to just keep moving forward despite how things are going, despite how things look. Keeping our minds as peaceful and as sane as possible. So I want to make sure I put God before anything. I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits. Some of you may know, some of you may not. And if you haven't read, I recommend you read. And if you have, I recommend you reread. But the question is still lingering to this day as I'm going about my day doing what I'm doing. I believe that what I've read in this specific chapter can help me give better answers when the question is asked, or be more descriptive of what locked in really means. So there's a few quotes in chapter 19 specifically that can really help me explain what this really means. So before I get into any other quotes, I want to explain like a little bit of the chapter. In the beginning, he was explaining how the brain loves a challenge. It loves a challenge that is manageable, not too easy, because too easy can get boring, and not too difficult. Too difficult can get hard and you could lose motivation. But he was explaining how the brain wants a hard enough challenge that you can win, but also have this difficulty that you can learn, but you also have this motivating factor to keep going. So I was like, okay, I think we getting somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And then I keep reading and I see this quote and it says, humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on edge of their current abilities. Not too hard, not too easy, but just right. I keep reading and he's explaining how there's enough victories to keep you motivated, but there's also just enough to make mistakes, to keep learning and want to keep going, keep moving forward. See another quote and it says, and this is what really got me, and it says the difference is between people who are successful and people who aren't successful is that they still find a way to show up despite the feelings of boredom. And that's what I think keeps me going. I believe that sometimes life could get boring, but you still have to be willing to show up. You still have to be willing to put the feelings, the pride, the stubbornness to the side, to still show up, to still get your reps in, to still do that thing over and over and over again. Because once you master it, everything will fall into place. And I believe that when it comes to God, he puts us in this position to keep doing the same things, to keep getting through the obstacles, to keep winning, but to also keep learning. And it gets repetitive and repetitive. And then that last time that you feel like, all right, that's it. That's the one. That's what it takes to be the best version of yourself, the best you can be, to be able to fight through the boredom, the heartaches, the obstacles, the adversity, and still find a win and break it down into a small one, to just have a victory even when you feel like you're losing. And the last two quotes that I saw, it says, when a habit is truly important to you, you have to be willing to stick to it in any mood and find a way to get your reps in. And the last one says, the only way to become excellent is to be endlessly fascinated by doing the same thing over and over. You have to fall in love with boredom. And the last thing I want to mention is, when it comes to being bored with your routine or trying to switch it up, find the reason why you even started. What's your reason? Find your reason why. And honestly, every time you think about it, it's just something that just happens inside of you to make you want to keep going, make you want to do the boring things multiple times, make you want to keep the routine and keep it going, make you want to go on more, make you want to push further. And when you learn how to master that, everything will fall into place for you. I'm still in that process. And I know things will fall into place, not just for me, but the people around me. And I hope if you're watching this for you too. But in order for all that to happen, you got to thank the man upstairs. So, to the person who asked me, I will probably keep the same answer, but I'll probably sit and chit chat with you for a little longer and let you know that there's levels to it. So keep chasing your dream, keep believing, and when it becomes boring, keep going and trust in God that it won't be boring forever. Well, ultimately, stay locked in. I love y'all. Peace.